Welcome, Japanese woodblock print collectors and enthusiasts. Most of us are familiar with Japanese women depicted in prints as being gentle and elegant geisha, or lifestyle prints of women relaxing at home, or courtesans parading about under the cherry trees in their gorgeous kimonos. But there are other types of women that are featured in woodblock prints. This includes real women warriors like Tomoe Gozen and Hangaku Gozen, who fought alongside samurai in battle. We also have women like Sarashina Hime, who was married to the samurai Aiki Morinosuke. An evil relative of hers sent assassins to attack her, and she fended them off. And this newspaper print by Yoshitoshi of Matsumoto Ai, a female chiropractor in Osaka, using judo to fight 4 men who tried to attack her. And I love this diptych by Yoshitoshi of a strong woman who was accosted by a sumo wrestler. It is said that she dragged him to her house and trained him for 7 days, and then he went off and won his sumo match. So you can see that not all women depicted in prints are demure and subservient. That's the lead up to today's topic, a woman named Okane, a legendary Japanese strongwoman. Okane lived 800 years ago in Omi province and washed her clothes in Lake Biwa, which is Japan's largest freshwater lake. The legend goes that when she was returning home after washing her clothes, she was nearly knocked over by a runaway horse. She stepped on its reins with her wooden geta and effortlessly stopped the horse in its tracks. This event with her and the horse was depicted by many ukiyo-e artists. And here we are seeing a 1765 print of the actor Onoe Matsusuke in the role of Okane by the artist Tori Kiyomitsu. The image is beautifully composed to fit the tall vertical format of this print. And you can see under her left arm her wash tub with the clothes. Today we're going to take a look at different interpretations of this event. And during my research, I also discovered some unexpected and interesting things that I'll show you. I have this print by Hokusai from one of his manga books, and that's what inspired me to talk about this story. Look at this beautiful print. On the left side, we have a powerful kicking horse. You don't even see the horse's head, just this big energetic animal mass. And there's a taut rope going from the horse to the single geta of Okane in the right panel, who is nonchalantly stepping on it with one foot while calmly gazing out at the landscape. It's a perfect composition and so interesting because of this contrast between female beauty and raw animal strength. This next print of Okane by Kuniyoshi from 1833 has quite a Western style, especially noticeable in the more realistic horse and landscape. It's almost like Okane has been transported to Europe. This print came from the period that Kuniyoshi was being influenced by Western artists. In fact, he kept a large collection of Western art and books in his studio. The horse is very similar to this one by C. Whittingham from an 1814 book of Aesop's Fables. So we think that's where he got this inspiration. This next print of Okane was published in 1834 for the Year of the Horse. It's by Kunisada. In this print, the horse and woman seem to be the same size, and the horse's saddle and blanket merge with the patterns on her kimono in kind of a decorative abstract design. Okane doesn't look worried or frightened. She seems to be too dressed up for clothes washing, but you can see the washing tub under her left arm. This print by Kuniyoshi is titled Heroic Women, Kanejo and Horse from the 1841 series Lives of Wise and Heroic Women. Here she's holding the reins of the horse and looking at the hat and water dipper that are lying on the ground. Usually she's standing on a rope, but this appears to be after she's already subdued the horse, and now she's wandering back, maybe to find its owner. I don't know where she put her washing tub, although she does have some clothes slung over her shoulder. It's quite a beautiful print. And how different is this from Kuniyoshi's earlier print from 1833? I much prefer this more traditional Utagawa school representation. Here's another by Kuniyoshi called Portrait of the Strong Woman Okane with Flowers from the series Mirror of Women of Wisdom and Courage from 1844. And in this print there's not a horse in sight, but we can see her holding the tub of laundry. Here's another print from this same series. This is not Okane, this is Chujo Hime, who is also known as the Japanese Cinderella. She escaped her evil stepmother by becoming a nun, but that's a story for another day. This interesting diptych is by Kunisada from 1856. It's titled Elegant Dolls by Kisaburo Matsumoto. And that might sound like a very strange title, and if you look at the print, there's something off about it. It looks stiff and staged, especially the character on the far left and the horse. So I did some research and found out that Iki Ningyo are life-sized, lifelike dolls that were popular in shows during the Edo period. Many times these lifelike realistic dolls depicted sensational scenes like murders and battles. So I'm guessing that this was one of those lifelike doll scenes that Kunisada turned into a woodblock print. And I found this old flyer for one of these shows. You can see in the top left, it looks like they had the dolls staged as the 47 Samurai story. Then in the middle, the old house on the lonely moor. And in the lower right corner, the legendary Okane stopping the horse scene. This next print is from my all-time favorite Kunichika series from 1876 called 36 Good and Evil Beauties. Okane is walking to the right with her wash basin, and a runaway horse is galloping by so fast you can only see its back legs and tail. So there's this great tension and action in the scene. You can imagine that in the next second, she'll step on the reins and stop the horse in its tracks. Now, one thing I noticed was this interesting pattern on her kimono, but I had no idea what it was. A key or a chain of some sort? Does anyone out there in YouTube audience land know what this symbol is? I did some digging, and when I took a closer look at our first print, I saw this. And that led me down the rabbit hole to this. The design on her kimono is a horse bridle bit. And here's an antique one from the 18th century. And then I also noticed the same pattern on this print we saw by Kuniyoshi. See the symbol on the clothes in her laundry basket? Isn't it satisfying when everything comes together? This last print of Okane is from 1906 by Takeuchi Keishu, who was a student of Yoshitoshi. It's a ukiyo-e print, meaning it's a frontispiece or the opening picture of a book. And this is a more realistically proportioned, modern Western influence style, but it's still quite true to the legend. I'll end this exploration with an interesting newspaper print by Yoshitoshi. In this true news story, these two horses met on a narrow path and started fighting. The man is trying in vain to restrain his white horse, but the young, courageous girl in the foreground has the presence of mind to throw a blanket over her horse's head in order to calm him down. This goes to show you that you don't have to depend on physical strength if you are brave and a quick thinker. I hope you've enjoyed this survey of legendary strongwoman Okane prints. Until next time, please like and subscribe, and happy collecting.